My name is Marisol Reyes, and I grew up on a 5-acre property outside Sacramento, a small working farm my father, Ernesto, built from almost nothing after immigrating from Cebu in 1981. He raised 2 daughters on that land. I moved to Seattle at 24 to build my own life. Graphic design, a studio apartment, a cat named Calamansi. I called my dad every Sunday without fail. That farm wasn't just land, it was him. It was proof that hard work could leave something real behind. My sister Dalice, Dali, we called her, was the one who stayed. She managed the farm books, coordinated Dad's medical appointments after his stroke, handled the neighbors and the contractors. I sent money every month without question. I thought we were a team. She called me crying when he got worse. I flew home twice in 8 months. I trusted her completely. She was on site. She was present. She was doing the work I couldn't do from Washington. That trust was the biggest mistake of my life. Dad died in March. I came home for the funeral and stayed 2 weeks. Dali handled everything. The service, the reception, the paperwork. I was too hollowed out to question it. But 6 weeks after I got back to Seattle, I started getting mail. A letter from the county assessor addressed to me. A refinancing notice. My name was on a deed modification I had never signed. I pulled up the Sacramento County Property Records site at 11 at night and just sat there, heart pounding, reading the same line over and over. I called Dali the next morning and read her the document reference numbers. She paused, too long, and then said, "Dad added me to the deed before he passed. He wanted me to have the farm since I was the one here." I asked her why my signature appeared on a transfer document dated 2 weeks after his death. Another pause. Then, "I don't know what you're talking about." My handwriting was on paperwork I had never touched. She forged my signature to transfer our father's estate solely into her name. My inheritance was gone. I hired a Sacramento estate attorney. What she uncovered made me physically ill. Dali hadn't just transferred the land. She'd taken out a $190,000 home equity loan against the farm property, using documents with my forged signature as co-borrower. She'd been planning this for months. There were notary stamps my attorney called deeply suspicious. The farm equipment my father bought over 40 years, his tractor, his irrigation system, all of it now legally under her name alone. She had used my father's dying months as a window of opportunity. My attorney filed complaints with the DA's office. Fraud investigations move like cold honey. I couldn't wait years. Then I got a call from a college friend who works in commercial real estate finance. She told me something I didn't know was possible. Private investors can sometimes purchase distressed mortgage debt from lenders at a discount. Dali had missed 2 payments on that equity loan. The lender was a regional bank, not a giant institution. I asked my friend what it would take to buy that debt. She said, "More than you think, but less than you'd expect." I started making calls. Dali had been engaged since the fall. She planned her wedding for June, on the farm. Our father's farm, the farm she stole. I had spent 4 months working with my attorney and a private debt acquisition firm to purchase the defaulted equity loan from the bank. The moment that debt was mine, I filed for foreclosure under California law. I timed the service of the notice to coincide with her wedding day. I was not there. I was in Seattle with a cup of coffee. A process server in a gray suit walked into that ceremony and handed my sister foreclosure papers while she stood at the altar. The DA's fraud investigation caught traction when my civil case surfaced the notary irregularities. Dali's fiancé ended the engagement within the week. Apparently she hadn't disclosed the fraud charges or the debt to him. She tried to countersue me, claiming emotional distress. Her attorney withdrew after 2 months. The foreclosure was completed. The property reverted to me as the debt holder, and my estate attorney filed to have the original fraudulent transfer voided. The farm came back. It took 11 months, most of my savings, and every ounce of patience I had ever developed. I don't live on the farm full-time yet. I rent it to a young family who tends it well. I visit in October, when the air smells like the end of something and the beginning of something else. My father built this place so that hard work would leave a mark. Dali tried to erase mine. What I learned is that grief makes you vulnerable in ways people will exploit if they can, even people who shared your childhood. I don't feel triumphant. I feel tired and clear-eyed and still. My father's name is still on the deed, right beside mine.
Like, subscribe, and comment your verdict below for more betrayal stories.